Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to learn how to estimate the mean of a grouped set of data. For this example, we have the marks scored by students in a particular test where 3 students scored in between 21 and 30 marks, 8 students scored between 31 and 40 marks, 6 students scored between 41 and 50 marks, 10 students scored between 51 and 60 marks, and finally 3 students scored between 61 and 70 marks. We're going to use this data to estimate the mean. It might be difficult to find the exact mean because we do not know the marks that were scored by each of these students. For example, in this case, we have 3 students who scored between 21 and 30 marks. We do not know what each of these 3 students got. We do not know whether one scored 22, another one 25, or even another one 29. So what we do is that we get a value that is in between 21 and 30, and this value is going to represent each of these 3 students. And the value that we're going to use is the one that is exactly in between 21 and 30. And to get that value that is exactly in between 21 and 30, we're going to add 21 to 30 and then divide it by 2. So this is going to give us 51 divided by 2 to give us 25.5. So for this other one, we have 8 students who scored between 31 and 40 marks. We do not know what mark was scored by each of these 8 students. So what we do, as we have done for the first one, is that we assume a value in between 31 and 40 that is going to represent each of these 8 students. And as we have said, that value is the one that is exactly in between 31 and 40. And to get that value, we're going to add 31 to 40 and then divide it by 2. So this is going to be 35.5. So this means that we're going to create another column. We're going to create another column that we're going to call the midpoint mark. The midpoint mark, or simply we can denote it as X. So the value for the first one is going to be 25.5. For the second one, it's going to be 35.5. And then for this other one, we're going to have 41 plus 50 and then divided by 2 is going to give us 45.5. So this will be 45.5. For this other one, we're going to have 55.5. And finally, for this other one, we're going to have 65.5. We're now going to estimate the mean by getting the summation of the frequency column, the summation of the frequency column multiplied by the midpoint column, and then divided by the summation of the frequency column. This means that we're going to create another column that we're going to call F multiplied by X, or simply the frequency multiplied by the midpoint, or X. So for this first one, we're going to have 3 multiplied by 25.5 to give us 76.5. And then for this other one, we're going to have 8 multiplied by 35.5 to give us 284. And then 6 multiplied by 45.5 to give us 273. And this other one, 10 multiplied by 55.5 to give us 555. And then finally 3 multiplied by 65.5 to give us 196.5. We're now going to get the summation of the F times X column So the summation of this column, we're going to have 76.5, we add it to 284, we add it to 273, add to 555, and then add to 196.5. So this is going to add up to 1385. So the summation of the f times x column is going to be 1385, and then we're also going to get the summation of the frequency column, or simply the number of students in this class, and the summation in this column is going to be 3 plus 8 plus 6 plus 10 plus 3 to give us the summation of frequency as 30. So to now estimate the mean, we're going to have the summation of the f times x column, which we found to be 1385, and then divide it by the summation of the frequency column, which we have found to be 30, and this is going to give us 46.167. So this is the mean of this data.